Well, greetings everybody. Happy Friday night to y'all. We are here today with Friday Night Flights. We are in Colorado. We are in the Rocky Mountains, way up high. Should be interesting in these C-130s. We're going to be visiting Colorado Springs, the home of Tesla himself. Not the company, but the mad inventor. And yeah, we should have a good old time. And yeah, we'll be taking off in about 4 minutes. We've got to climb quite high tonight. We're going to be climbing up to about 15,000 feet. So bear that in mind as we get the show on the road. And yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention inside the cockpit. We're sitting at a little over 6,000 feet.
Yeah, we're way up there. We're way up there. Every single airport tonight is about 6,000 feet. Like I said, at one point we're going to have to climb up to at least 15,000. I think that's going to be on the last leg. We should probably do that on every leg just to be safe. There's some pretty big mountains around here in the Rockies. A fun little side note, I was born in Colorado Springs. How about that? 58 years ago, I had a one-room apartment that I was forcibly ejected from after 9 months, and yeah, I was born in Colorado Springs. Of course, I don't remember it, but I've always been drawn to Colorado. I've always wanted to go back, but I don't remember it. I was an Army brat, so we moved, you know, probably before I was 2 or 3, we moved already.
So after 9 months, you got evicted, huh?
Yep, they kicked me out of my one-room apartment and out into the world. Geez, I think after that we moved from Colorado Springs to Texas, and then I spent 3 years there. I don't remember Texas at all. I was pretty young when we moved. I was about maybe 4 when we moved to Alabama, and that's when I'm starting to remember a little bit. I'm not one of these guys that remembers when I was 3 and 4 years old. I mean, it's more like 5, 6 years old that I remember. I remember Alabama. And then when I was 6 or 7, we moved to Germany. And that's really when the memories kick in. That's really when I consider my youth. I grew up in Germany because that's all I remember, you know what I mean?
Was this part of the military or something?
Yeah, my dad was a Army helicopter pilot, so we moved all over every couple of years.
A little research here on your J model. On the Captain Sin webpage, they state that this is high-resolution textures, and they also say it's 8K livery. Interesting.
Is that about the new one, or just some old post?
This is the J model that you're flying today.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it only came with one livery that I noticed, but it's pretty nice. It's basic, a simple
I can see
gray
Longhorn
Hercules.
there behind me, his full plane. I just can't see you and Split Horse.
Yeah, well, Longhorn's flying the C-130H, so that's what you'll see him as. If he was in a J, you'd see him like Split Horse. He would look like a bus or something weird. But since he's just like you, he's in the H version, I can see you guys just fine. And I like that.
Travis flying with us tonight.
Sorry, who? Oh, Travis.
Travis.
I think Travis wants to fly with us, but I'm not sure he's able to because he's got the beta version of the testing version of the sim, and that screws up multiplayer. That'd be my guess. Correct, Travis?
Yep. I'm gonna try to sort that out.
Yeah, they stopped doing that with, I think it was Sim Update 2, the beta. When I got into that, it doesn't transfer over. So if you were in any of the beta since 2, we won't see each other.
Right. Yeah, we knew that all along, but for some reason the last beta it let you. So I don't know. There was one out of all the beta versions, there was one of them that let you play in multiplayer. But not this one, apparently.
I was in the beta 1, and I got into that because at that one I could see everybody and everybody could see me. But when 2 came out, they started saying, yeah, you can't see each other anymore. And now that 3's out, I figured it'd be the same as 2 was.
Well, alrighty guys, I'm seeing the clock on the wall here says we're 10 after the hour. It's time to get these birds up in the air. Let's go ahead and get rolling. Don't forget, we're already at 6,000 feet plus. So give yourself plenty of flaps. And we're going to roll out of here. We're going to be taking a Taking a right-hand turn out of here. Let's climb to 15,000 feet and make our way to our first airport, which would be Kilo Romeo India Foxtrot. Lazerbolt is spooling up, and we're rolling. We've got over a 6,000 foot runway, but still, at this altitude, it might be just barely enough. Usually 3,500 is enough for this bird. It's enough, but not by much.
Not even at 100 knots yet.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna take it right to the end of that runway, man. Luckily, you can take off at about 110 pretty easily. Maybe at 100 if you're really praying.
Yeah, I got up to about 120. I'm good. It's off.
Everybody's looking good. Yeah, I sure like this C-130, and especially the J version now that it works so well with 24. Just wish they would figure out that one weird, just the weird multiplayer part of it all. It just seems like with this aircraft, there's always something. There's always something that's just irritating. And like I said, stuff like this, I'm a little, I almost worry a little bit that I don't think they're as into the multiplayer aspect as we are. You know what I mean? I don't think we're way into the multiplayer aspect, but I'm not sure the general public is. I don't think the general flight sim player, they might not really care, so that might not be something they're working on hard. I better watch my altitude here. We got mountains all over.
I think there are several groups out there. I'm not in all of them, but I think I have seen several out there.
Oh, there's for sure lots of groups out there. But I'm just, I think this wanting to play in multiplayer isn't as big a deal as it would be in, say, a first-person shooter or a deathmatch game or anything like that. I mean, most people probably, when they're playing flight sim, they don't fly in a group. Like I said, what are you going to do? You're going to spawn at an airport with a bunch of random strangers and nobody's talking because you're not on Discord together. It's not the easiest thing in the world to fly group flights in this, if you don't already have a group together or go to a group of people that fly all the time. I don't know, like I said, I just worry that multiplayer is not something that they're focused on, that it might be on the back burner before they fix stuff like this. The only thing that worries me worse than that is if this model matching issue is not a Microsoft issue and it's a Captain Sim issue, then we might really be screwed because those guys don't update stuff at all.
Yeah, not very often, huh?
You never know, though. I should give them the benefit of the doubt because I sure like this airplane. Alrighty, I'm going to be leveling off at 15,000 here right directly, following that pink line. We're going to try to maintain around 260 knots. Alright, I'm more like 15,500, but it's close enough. That'll get us there.
I'll try to join you guys on the second leg, but for now I'm gonna hop out of Discord real quick. I'm trying to get this
You gonna
worked
reinstall the game?
Yeah.
That's cool. Good news is it probably shouldn't take too long. This is a pretty small install compared to the last one.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna take too long. I'll catch you guys in a bit.
Alrighty, see you in a few.
See you on the other side.
It really looks like this 15,000 feet is going to be just barely enough. I mean, we're not going to be scraping the ground or nothing like that, but it's, I feel like we're pretty high, and so are those mountains. But I did check the little nav map, and it said 15,000 should be the biggest peak we're going to be near.
I don't even think there's a 15,000 foot peak in Colorado. They're all in the 14s.
Oh, well,
So
good
15
deal.
should clear everything.
That's good. Yeah, 15 should get us over it. Not
Maybe by
100%
only a
sure
few.
either, but we are going to be going right over Pikes Peak. That'll be the last leg. Pikes Peak, I'm guessing, is pretty tall. Don't know if it's the tallest, but it's up there.
No, it's not. It's not the tallest, but it's like 14.4, I think. I actually drove to the top of it once. And then, actually, just outside of, I believe it's Colorado Springs, is Mount Evans. We drove up to the top of that too, and that was actually a little bit higher than Pikes Peak. And that was actually, I think, the highest paved road in North America.
Ooh, look at the knowledge on this guy.
Did you ever take the 50-mile trip through the national park?
Which park's that?
That's the Rocky Mountain.
Oh,
Rocky,
no, we were staying at a timeshare in Breckenridge, and we just decided to go up Pikes Peak because that's what I had heard of while we were there. So, okay, let's go check that out. And then it's like, well, I want to go up another mountain. So then we ended up going up Mount Evans. So we're just there for about 5 days.
Well, our buddy Storm still lives in Colorado. I've talked to him once in a while here and there, a couple times a year via email. It's always interesting talking to him. He's an interesting character. Of course, he's
I
in
think,
Denver. We're not. I don't think we're going to be too close to Denver tonight.
Oh, is he in Denver?
Yeah, Denver.
That property I owned, I think, is in this this valley that's coming up here, kind of off to the left where it's all flat. I think it was in there somewhere.
Nice.
Basically out in the middle of a desert.
Hey, what is the radio beam coupler switch supposed to be set on to get to follow the pink line?
To follow the pink line, the second setting, or the third setting actually, it would be, what's it called? Range localizer?
I thought that was just to catch the ILS or the localizer. I want to follow the nav.
No, the range localizer plus the nav on your big dial, that will put you on the pink line. For some reason, it's a different localizer, I guess. I don't know. Range localizer instead of the local localizer. And then when you're trying to do an ILS, we're going to need AFF. Put it all the way over to
Okay.
AFF. Unfortunately, our first airport does not have an ILS localizer, but I think the next two do. For sure, our last airport does. But we're going to have to do this one by hand. I think I looked earlier, and we're going to be landing on runway 1 when we get there. Let me double check. We're about 97 miles out from Kilo Romeo India Foxtrot. Yes, indeed. We are going to be landing on runway 1 when we get to Richfield Municipal. Runway 1 is at elevation of 5,300 feet. We have 7,000 foot runway bituminous. So that's a long one. It's even longer than the one we took off from. That should be plenty. So yeah, count on that, 7,000 foot of bituminous. It's way up there at 5,300 feet. Unfortunately, no ILS. Hey, see, we got JMB checking in here on the chat. He says, I wonder if you'll be able to see where I lived. Hey, JMB apparently lived around here at one point. That's cool. And hey, JMB, It's good to see you, buddy. Greetings on a Friday. Hopefully you're having a good one. So where about in near Colorado Springs did you live, JMB? Yeah, I do like the way the EFB is laid out nowadays, how they made those small changes to it. It's even handy to where it tells you the distance in between your airports, like right there at a glance you can see. Okay, you can't see how far away you are from the airport, but you can see how far away they are from each other. And I'm sure that information was in there somewhere, but you had to dig for it. Now it's just right there.
See you moving back to the left, Longhorn. Did your lock on?
Yeah, that was it. I had it on. Well, I tried AFF and I tried gyro pilot, and neither one of those was working. But as soon as I switched it over, it immediately turned me to the left to get back on the line.
Ah, there you go.
Good deal.
It just didn't make sense when I saw localizer. It's like, oh, I need that for
Yeah,
the
I know.
ILS landings.
I'm guessing that that's some kind of an old-fashioned term for all that, because like I said, it's all just analog equipment, you know, basically. But like I said, there's probably a clear difference between a range localizer and a local airport localizer. Say, we're going to be coming over this kind of a big lake kind of thing. Once we get to that lake, I'm going to turn to the right a few degrees. That'll help us line up for runway 1 when we get to Romeo India Foxtrot. Remember, the airport elevation is right around 5,000. Go ahead and turn on those blue formation lights. I like those. That light blue turquoise kind of light that the C-130J has.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty nice.
So Travis mentioned in Discord there that that issue he was having with the Dirty 30, they seem to have fixed that, where it's going a little bit faster now. Have you checked that out yet, Bob? Was there a new update for that thing?
There was. I flew it a little bit today, and I didn't really pay too much attention to the speed. I mean, it seemed to be flying a little smoother.
Good. It seems to me like they're going to be releasing a lot of updates. They're almost like a weekly update.
Yeah, they just released one yesterday. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I did fly it right after we got off the group flight last week, and I really didn't have any. I mean, it definitely was flyable. I didn't really have any major issues. There was a couple of weird things going on with it, but I'll be interested to see how the latest update is with it now.
Yeah, I'm
The
anxious to
problem I
get
have
it.
is I can't get my nose wheel steering to work anymore, so
Oh, so
I gotta
taxiing is
figure
a
that
hassle.
one out.
Huh? Yeah, I didn't have that.
Well, that was from today after I did the installed the
Oh.
update.
Ah,
Everything else was working fine. I just could not get the nose wheel steering to turn.
Well, that doesn't
So
make
I
it
got a
easy to
tinker
taxi,
with
does
that.
it?
Sure not.
okay, I'll watch for that then after I do the update. I'll probably fly it over the weekend.
Yeah, I see Brennan
Actually-
from Page Turners They Were Not joined us. Hello there. How's it going, Brennan? Happy Friday to you, buddy. Hopefully you're having a good one. We're flying around Colorado today. We're going to make our way to Colorado Springs. Quite the elevation going on here right now. We're flying at 15,000 feet, which is a lot higher than we normally go. Yeah, here's that big lake I'm talking about. I'm going to swing to the right a few degrees. That'll help us line up runway 1. Yeah, like I said, I was born here in Colorado Springs, so I've always been strangely drawn to the place. It's just, I don't know, Colorado just seems like a nice place to visit. I don't remember it. I was really little when I was born, so we moved. We moved probably when I was a year or two old, and yeah, I don't remember it, but I have been drawn here. I don't know, to me, Colorado's just one of those places that, I don't know, you don't hear too many bad things about it, I know. I'm sure there's going to be a million people that can say, oh, I hear terrible things about Colorado all the time. And I don't know, it seemed like it'd be a nice place to visit for me. I like it. Because I'm a good old Michigan boy, so I think I'll get along with Colorado just fine.
It is very scenic. I loved it when I was there.
Yeah, I'd love to take a trip in my RV there one time and just bounce around the state for a minute.
Spend like a month there during the summer, hitting all the higher mountain towns and stuff.
I'd love one of these days to drop in to say hi to Storm. He'd be surprised to see me. I mean, that guy's been a good buddy of mine for, 15, 16 years. We've never met. Alright, we do need to start taking this here seriously, though. We're about 50 miles out. I'm going to begin descending. Our elevation for the airport is just over 5,000. So we don't need to go down too damn far. Plus, we're in the mountains. We've got to be careful. There is a valley that Kilo Romeo India Foxtrot is in, so don't descend too sharply until you're in that valley. I'm going to go considerably south of the airport before I turn north towards the airport.
The airport KRIF?
That is correct.
Okay. I'll look up the
Got about a
transport if there
7,000
is
foot
one.
runway, so it should be a piece of cake.
Approaches. Saying no charts available. Oh, wait, there is an RNAV. There's an RNAV for runway 19. Yeah, they want you to come in on runway 19.
Yeah, for me it's got runway 1 as the recommended, and I don't have any kind of ILS frequencies for either runway, either one of them.
Yeah, there's no ILS, but there is an RNAV for it, and I think yours is probably picking that runway based on the weather. And it's probably,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you got just few clouds, then it probably really wouldn't make a difference. But
Yeah,
looking at the
technically for
chart,
me it says 0, wind's at 0, so I could
yeah,
go either
so
runway.
it's just picking one.
Yeah, I picked runway 1 just because when we're leaving that airport, it'll put us pretty much straight in line.
Yeah, it's saying come in at, let's see, 14,000 feet at EBOVE, and then down to 8,200 feet at Setna, and 6,340 at Senab, and then land. So it's
Right on.
it's got a pretty steep approach. It's got you dropping like 8,000 feet.
I noticed that. It
Like-
tells you to come in at 14. That's pretty harsh. Well, do what you got to do. Like I said, I'm going to be coming in on runway 1. When we do get down on the ground, everybody get in there however it makes you comfortable. We will meet up back at runway 1 before we take off, because that'll point us in the right direction. Of course, it might be difficult if you got some strange tailwind. So I don't know, what kind of wind you got?
I did a few clouds, so I should have like hardly any weather at all.
Right, maybe 2 knots at most. I have 0 knots, so it doesn't really matter to me.
How are you getting that? How are you getting the weather?
Well, they're right there when you're looking at the airport information. It tells you
Okay.
wind at 0 degrees, 0 knots, that kind of stuff. When you're looking at the runways.
Okay, I got yeah. Mine's showing 7 knots from 140 degrees. And it's picking. I like how it's picking the nearest available meter now for the weather, because there is no weather station at this airport. So it's picking the closest one. But I'm kind of concerned because I think in beta update 3 they disabled that because they said it wasn't reliable. So it's, well, at least it's giving us something.
Right, at least it's something.
Almost.
And it's not anything too crazy either.
Yeah. So hopefully if they do disable it, that they figure out a way to make it reliable so they can put it back in, because I like that now where it's actually showing you the weather. You're getting something on the weather chart now.
I'm going to slowly begin my descent, but I am a bit sus of all these mountains around here, so I'm not going to go too crazy. But we got to start descending sooner or later. That airport's coming up. I'm only 32 miles out. I got to get down there. Definitely get down into that valley before we do any serious descending.
Shoot. Is it on the other side of that big mountain peak that's
It
ahead of us
is.
right now?
It looks
Oh,
like the
super
tallest
perfect.
thing in the entire area, and our airport's just on the other side of that. Like so I'm saying, that's why I'm going way to the south of it, so I can descend into the valley and then turn north, and should be right there, runway 1. Truth be told, it looks like runway, 19, the opposite runway, might be a little easier,
Yeah.
but they're probably both about the same.
Yeah, I don't think this plane is capable of doing an RNAV approach anyway, so it really wouldn't make any difference.
If it was, I wouldn't know how to do it.
Oh, you do it the same as an ILS. You just do an approach, but you need one. I do it with the glass cockpit ones. You just hit the approach, hit the RNAV, and it'll just take you in. And
Right.
most of them have.
Do you enter
altitude.
everything in your nav radios?
Nope, you don't have to. It's
just automatically
programmed
locks
into the GPS.
It just finds it.
Yeah, there's no frequencies that it locks into because it's just programmed into the GPS.
Huh. Yeah, I can see that might be a little too sophisticated for this old warbird here.
Actually, let me do this.
Yeah, Brennan lives in California now. I always wondered about that. I wasn't sure if you're a California kid or not. I'm going to gradually turn north here as we approach. Looks like I'm going to be just fine when it comes to these mountains. I don't think I'm going to hit one of them. One thing's for sure is we are going to have to descend quite steeply. You can almost see this mountain range that the airport is on the other side of it. There's a bit of a little saddle here. There's a little bit of almost a valley that we can cut through to keep us from hitting it. "20 miles out, keep your eyes peeled." watch your speed. It's going to be our biggest enemy from dropping all that altitude. It's easy to lose that altitude, but it's hard to watch your speed.
So that mountain range directly in front of you, I guess we need to turn to the left and kind of go along that.
Yeah, I'm in that little valley now, so I think I'm good to go. I can descend as far as I'd like.
Yeah, you seem a little high.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely coming down. I should probably increase my descent rate even more than that. Like 15, 16 out. But I'm down to 13,000, so I'm losing. Cut that throttle and tip that nose down.
Hey, Split Horse took a shortcut. Last I saw, he's behind me.
Yeah, I just followed this valley between the mountains.
Yeah.
That's cool.
$11 out. I still don't see it, but I haven't really looked all that hard because I'm still at 20,000 or 12,000 feet. I got quite a bit to lose still. Lazerbolt has a runway in sight. Bringing her in. About 5 mile final.
I mean, it's Richfield, right?
Sorry, say again?
The airport's Richfield, right?
It is. For some reason I'm having trouble getting my gear to come down.
Might be going too fast.
It
I
might
broke
be.
mine.
I'm hauling some pretty good ass. Oh yeah, I'm going about 260.
Oh yeah, it won't come down if you didn't have the damage disabled. You would have broke your gear like I did.
Come on, baby, we can do this.
Yeah, mine's just now
Okay.
coming out.
I had to be under 200. Yeah, it probably still would have broken. But at least they're coming down. Get ready on those reverse thrusters, man. I'm going to be coming in hot. Oh, it wasn't too bad. A little sloppy. Lazerbolt is clear to the left. Yeah, Split Horse, that bus fly is pretty good for not having any wings.
Yeah, doesn't it?
suspect that the liveries inside the aircraft are 4K liveries or small or lower, and the outside liveries are 8K.
So there's a conflict there somewhere.
Apparently, the displaying two different liveries might be a problem for it.
Yep, it is a weird one. It's a whole brand new issue I've never seen, not in this sim. And all the other airplanes seem just fine. I am inclined to think that it is a C-130 or a Captain Sim issue and not really a flight sim issue.
Well, it has to do with probably model matching, not being able to handle the higher resolution liveries.
It might be. Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't seem like Captain Sim would be the first organization to try to use a high-res livery, you know? But it does, on the other hand, it does act like it's, you know, like something it's having trouble loading the entire texture, you know? Like it got that far and just quit. Back up and get out of Longhorn's way here. He's ready to come on in. It's a pretty narrow runway.
I'm gonna give you a haircut as I go by.
You have these flaps down, it sure likes to float back and forth a lot.
It does. It behaves like a kite. It likes to slip sideways. That was a nice landing there, buddy. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get back out on this runway and get ready for leg 2. This shouldn't be too hard to get out of here. It's a longer runway than that last one, and we're at a less of an elevation. So we should be just fine. We made that last one. Remember to put your flight director switch back to normal. Alright guys, we're up and out of here in 1 minute. Looks like our next destination of Kilo Golf Juliet Tango, that is, Kilo Golf Juliet Tango, is at a heading of 072 degrees and about 170 miles. So when we climb out of here, let's take a right-hand turn to get back on that pink line and climb all the way back up to 15,000 feet. That should do just fine.
I wish that altitude hold switch was right next to the altimeter.
Well, I wish you could at least map it to a button on your stick. That would be helpful. You know, so you don't have to like literally go down there and look for it. Because even when you know where it is, it's kind of hard to find sometimes. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get these birds back up in the air. Lazerbolt is rolling. It is just beautiful around here with these mountains and stuff. Looking forward to when the sun starts going down.
When I was in the Air Force, I got to go into Cheyenne Mountain.
Oh, for real? Isn't that like the top secret kind of installation?
Yeah,
Groovy.
it was really cool. I'm so glad I was able to do that.
I take it they don't mess around there.
No, not. They don't mess around. They've got, you know, a gate just full of barbed wire all around it. The door to actually get in there is like, I don't know, it's like 4 feet thick. It's a huge vault door, and it moves really slowly. It's got these titanium rods all around it that lock in.
Yeah, nobody going in and out of there's in a hurry.
All the buildings that are on the inside are all on big springs. It's a trip.
I've seen some pictures of it before, but never had the opportunity to go there while I was in.
They've got these huge, super long bolts that they drill into the rock with these big plates on the end. And that's basically supposed to hold the mountain together.
Is that around here somewhere? That's in the Rockies?
Colorado Springs. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, you know, everybody talks about Tesla having his laboratory here in Colorado Springs, and that's where he did all of his crazy high electrical transmission kind of experiments he was doing. But his lab actually only lasted for 1 year, almost 1 year to the day. He started doing his experiments, and 1 year after he built his laboratory, he tore it down and sold it because he couldn't afford it anymore. I've always liked Tesla, just stories about him stuff, because that's the stereotypical mad scientist. You know what I mean? Crazy looking, just that is like a mad scientist from the movies, but he was the real deal. You know what I mean? Very interesting cat.
Yeah, I mean, he really had some ideas that he just knew was going to work, but you know, when it came to practicality, it just
Right.
wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, he might have been right about a lot of that stuff, but practicality, no. Yeah, the article I read said that there was, that year that he was doing his experiments, there was some really strange shit going on in the entire city of Colorado Springs. Just had like just bizarre stuff, you know, like butterflies flying around with their wings glowing. That was a common thing. Butterflies would have blue glowing wings because there was so much electricity in the air, you know, and just like you'd get a zap every time you touched your water faucet. Just, you know, there was electricity in the air, and you could tell.
You know what he was trying to do, don't you?
Well, he was trying to transmit electricity, probably to help humanity, but also maybe to contact Mars. He had a big obsession with, like, he thought he was being contacted by Martians.
What he was working on is something called broadcast power. He didn't want to use wires to broadcast power.
Yeah.
He wanted to transmit it in the ether.
Yeah. Technically, it would work. It's just, I don't know, what are the health issues surrounding that? You know, just to have high power electricity just zapped from tower to tower, and the towers couldn't be very far apart even. You know, so there had to have been a lot of them. It's just, it was unpractical. It might have worked, but not very practical. Lazerbolt is holding altitude at 15,000.
Got us using AC instead of DC.
Yeah. He actually did. He built the dynamos that they use at the power project here.
Yeah. The Tesla coils.
Yeah, the first coils first ones here it's on the power station for hydropower.
He is
I
still
like
to
those
this
little
day
ones.
the guy that he has the record for the largest Tesla coil ever built, of course. I don't know if that's the one that they named after him, but he invented the Tesla coil. And then he moved to Colorado Springs and built a gigantic one.
You can buy little miniature ones on Amazon now. Hook them up to put an audio source onto it, and it'll play the song with electricity. They're pretty cool.
Oh, it'd be like an equalizer jumping up and down.
Well, it actually makes a different high-pitched noise according to the sound that's going in there. So you could play like AC/DC or something, and it'll sound like the song, except it'll just be the different frequency noise going through the little lightning bolts.
Science indeed. Well, we are on our way to Grand Junction Regional Airport. This is an odd airport. It doesn't have the K designation. It just says GJT, Golf Juliet Tango, not Kilo Golf Juliet Tango.
What's your speed there, Laser? You're like 3.5 or 2.5 miles in front of me.
Yeah, I'm currently going about 240. I was trying to maintain 260.
Oh, okay.
But I'll fess up.
But I'm trying to catch you.
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago I was going 290, so I pulled it back.
That's why.
Yeah, I got way ahead before I realized I was hauling ass. Okay, I take you back. This does have the K for the Kilo Golf Juliet Tango. I was looking at the VOR. Well, gentlemen, when we get to Grand Junction Regional, it is recommending for me, I've got a 5-knot wind from 140. It's recommending I come in on runway 11. Hopefully you all have similar situations going on. The good news about runway 11 is it does have an ILS frequency. So we can go ahead and do that. It's over a 10,000 foot runway, which is great. The elevation of Grand Junction is only 4,800 feet, so that's even less than we were just at. So count on runway 11 when we get there. If y'all are ready, I can give you that ILS frequency. That ILS frequency for runway 11 is 110.3. Count on 110.3. You might want to write down this heading too. It is at a heading of 116 degrees magnetic. 116. Go down here to the nav radio.
Did
Put
something
that
really
in.
stupid yesterday. I was working on this thing, and I had I have this box that folds up into a long box, and you unfold it, and it's got all these little, hex bits in there, or Phillip bits, all this stuff for a small little screwdriver. And I had it on the floor. I got up, I went to step over it, and my big toe caught it and pushed it forward, and my heel came down right on all those freaking little things, and just messed the bottom of my heel up. Something bad.
Is it even worse than stepping on a Lego?
Oh my God! There's blood all over the floor. Still haven't cleaned it all up yet. No, it really tore my heel up. They all went in, broke the skin. I'm in so much pain right now. I mean, how do you walk around and not use the heel of your foot?
Yeah, you kind of need
Tippy
that
toes.
all day long. Say, JMB, I see you in the chat there. I don't know if you're still listening, but would you happen to... You have a different name sometimes, don't you? Like, are you Vulcan Nerd? Or am I thinking of someone else, JMB?
Yeah, I don't seem to be able to go much more than 260.
Really? I'm able to go about 290. Of course, it depends on what your airspeeds and weather is and all that good stuff, I suppose. It's definitely a little sluggish at these altitudes compared to how it usually is. Usually I could do over 300 easy.
Well, I mean, I took off right behind you, and by the time I got up to 15,000, I'm almost 6 miles behind you guys.
So have your flaps down?
Nope,
Oh, you're landing?
flaps are up,
Landing gear up?
gears up.
Huh. Because I'm like coming right up your butt now, and I'm at about 310 knots.
Gross.
Actually, you're in front of me.
No. Oh yeah, you. Okay, I was thinking wingnut. Yeah. So I'm coming up behind wingnut at 310 knots. Oh yeah, I see you back there on the EFP. Yeah, you are way back
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
Really? That's just the regular
I don't-
C-130H that you're in, and you can barely maintain 260. That is unusual.
no,
You
I'm in the J.
Oh, you're in the J version. Still, that's even more
Yeah,
unusual.
I'm in the J. My engines are maxed out. Torque is 83.
I wonder if it's your
All
engine.
engines.
What do they call that? The fuel ratio of your fuel to air mixture. I wonder if your
The mixture?
mixture is all screwed up. I'm pretty sure I'm just using auto mixture, and that's why it's working fine for me.
Yeah, I just had it
Oh,
back
I
off.
just messed with my mixture, and my engine 1 and 2 just died.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Oh, you pulled back
No,
your.
I mean, I barely moved it.
You pulled back the condition lever. Because I'm not sure that's
I
the
don't
right
know,
one.
It's the ones that are red, on the far right side of my thing. Okay, it went back, but I barely moved it, and it killed engine 1 and 2. I'm like, oh crap.
You're gonna
That
need
was
those
back
engines.
a couple miles.
You'll save fuel that way.
Yeah, really.
We're about 100 miles out from Grand Junction. You know what? I was just looking at the ILS information for Grand Junction, thinking that looked really familiar. And then it dawned on me that the video I made about 2 weeks ago was an ILS instructional video of how to use the ILS in the Hercules. And I flew to Grand Junction. So it's like, oh yeah, I was just here 2 weeks ago. I didn't even know it. I couldn't see much because it was, I turned the weather on like a severe thunderstorm just for the effect to make it a cool looking video. But yeah, I just came here a couple weeks ago. It's a nice place. Big city, big. So you can see Grand Junction on the map. There is like a valley kind of to the north of it that hooks around. We will be taking that valley as we descend down, and that's how we're going to get to runway 11.
So there's a big interstate down below us. Is that Interstate 70 or?
Ooh, I don't know. Well, we're following right along it, aren't we?
Colorado is so unique. It's got everything. I mean, it's got the old west looking buttes all around. It's got tall mountains, pine trees, stream. I mean, whatever you want, it's got it.
It's got whatever you want. Yeah, I'd love to visit one of these days. It'd be the perfect place to take my RV. Just go up in the hills, go out in the woods, and just be. I don't know, if I don't find any work anytime soon, I might have to sell my RV, and that is one thing I'm desperately trying to avoid.
I thought you were a seasonal employee working.
They haven't called me yet at the state park. Yeah,
I didn't remember what you said, but
they did a whole bunch of work on the state park over the winter, and they were supposed to open back up in April and then start calling people, but they haven't called me yet. I just went and got a hold of him again yesterday saying, I don't know if you forgot about me, but I'm still ready to go anytime you are. I see Scotty doesn't know joining us. Evening Laser, he says. Well, good evening, Scotty. Good to see you, buddy. We are inbound to Grand Junction, Colorado. After that, we're going to be flying all the way to Colorado Springs. So we're taking this beautiful flight up here in the Rockies.
Now, I went on a trip on the Trans-American Trail, which is all dirt roads from the East Coast to the West Coast. And we cut through New Mexico just a little bit on into Colorado, and we went over Engineer Pass, Tamichi Pass, and they were all around 14,000 feet. And riding over these peaks on a Suzuki 400cc dirt bike wasn't it was a little underpowered.
Oh, right. I was going to say, it actually kind of sounds fun, man. Been a long time since I've been on a dirt bike. Alright guys, a reminder, runway 11, when we come into Grand Junction, does have an ILS localizer. So at some point between here and there, set your radio beam coupler over to AFF. Don't forget to set that to AFF. Also, after you switch your mode selector over to VOR/ILS1, don't forget to set your course heading. The magnetic heading of this runway is 116 degrees. That is all. We got about 78 miles to go. You know, one thing I like about the new EFB that they did too is the bar along the side, it kind of remembers what page you went to before. Like if I want to check out the airport information, I don't have to go all the way to the airport on the map. I can just click the little icon and it shows me the last airport I was looking at. That's handy. Didn't do that before. A reminder, we are going to be landing at an airport with an elevation of 4,800 feet. So in order to be underneath your glide slope when we get there, make sure that by the time you're 20 miles out, you're at least 8,000 feet or lower. If you're any higher than 8,000 feet, you'll probably miss the glide slope entirely. You don't want to do that. So when we get there, once we turn down that little, like I said, we're going to turn north and go down that valley. That'll be a good time for us to ascend and bring her all the way down to about 8,000.
The chart has you coming in at 8,400 to catch the glide slope.
Yeah.
Slope.
Yeah, the 8,400 will be almost exactly 4,000 above ground.
Yeah, so that puts you, what is it, about 13, 14, about 15 and a half miles out. So you want to be below 8,400 at 15 miles out.
Yeah, actually, at about 20 miles is when you're going to start seeing your glide slope. So that's when I start looking for it. About 27 miles, you will pick up the ILS feather, and then at about 20 miles, you'll get the glide slope. Just the important thing is, don't forget to set your course heading. For some reason, I always forget it, and I've seen other people forget it. It's easy to forget to set that course heading. So do that as soon as you switch over your mode selector. You having any luck keeping up with this split horse? You still having trouble maintaining 260?
I'm not even seeing him on the EFB.
I can see him. I can see his name tag back there. He's still. He's about 5 miles back. He's catching up slowly.
Sorry about that. I had to use the facilities.
Oh, right on. Thank God for autopilot, huh?
What?
An
There was no
autopilot, you-
pilot in your plane while you was doing that?
Does he have an autopilot in his facility? Is that what he said?
His name's Otto.
I have a co-pilot. He was playing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because the facilities is all the way in the tail of the airplane.
Been trying to get rid of my autopilot guy. My co-pilot. They won't let me get rid of him. He's creepy. He just sits there looking weird.
I don't have one in my airplane.
You don't have one?
I think I.
Oh, it's because
no,
you're
I
in the
pretty
H.
well-
Right, you're in the H. I'm in the J, which is made for 24. So they're like, hey, we got to give you a co-pilot. Just sits there looking like a schmuck. Never does anything.
I like his vest, though. Looks nice.
I guess it's going to come in handy here. Well, we're 55 miles out. I am going to slowly start descending. I don't want to go too damn low, but we do have a lot of altitude to lose here, so I'm going to start bringing her down. Like I said, just below 8,000 and we should be fine. Make sure you pull back that throttle so you don't pick up too much speed. In about another 10 miles or so, we're going to turn north so we can enter that corridor and be prepared for runway 11 at Kilo Golf Juliet Tango. It has an ILS frequency of 110.3. Just a reminder, gentlemen, when we get to Grand Junction, that is our penultimate stop for the evening. We're going to take a 10-minute break, so you can grab a cocktail or grab some coffee or a snack. Use the restroom if you have to. And after 10 minutes, we'll be back up in the air. I still feel bad about last week. I said, hey, we're going to take off in 10 minutes. We took off in 5 minutes. Left poor Split Horse behind. He thought we were still on a break.
At first, I looked around, going, "Oh, great! It dumped me out of multiplayer."
Right. And then you saw our name tags way off in the distance. Yeah, I legitimately thought it was a 10-minute break, but it was just 5. I'm going to begin swinging to the left here just a little bit because we are, on paper, we're within 15 miles of being able to pick up that localizer, but I don't want to pick up that localizer just yet because I wouldn't be pointing at it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jog off to the left here just a few degrees and try to head down that corridor.
You using the heading bug?
Sorry, Coast?
Are you using the heading bug?
Yeah, I'm using the flight director and the heading bug just to point me away from the pink line. If I turned off my flight director, it would go right back to that pink line. But as long as I got that flight director switch on manual, it'll follow your heading bug. That's a super handy thing. It doesn't do that in every aircraft, which is another thing that's slightly misnamed, right? I mean, you know, when the mode selector switch has a heading setting, but it doesn't appear to do anything. If you want it to follow your heading bug, you have to turn your flight director switch on to manual. Like I said, it's a little odd. I'm not sure that's, you know, I don't think nowadays it would be labeled that way. Anyway, we are getting rather close to being able to pick up that ILS localizer. By the time, if you're looking at the map, you'll see that we got like this corner that we're going to turn. Right about the time we get to that corner, it'll be time to turn on our ILS. And when we do that, switch your mode selector over to VOR ILS 1, and then set your course heading to 116 degrees magnetic. And then sit back and watch the magic as the airplane lands itself. In theory.
It's gonna come down no matter what.
It's going to come down somewhere. I'm already 9,000 feet. I'm going to really want to keep an eye on that. I'm getting ready to level out here. Lazerbolt is holding 8,000. I am guessing that I'm close enough to that feather to go ahead and lock onto it. I'm going to flip that mode selector switch over to ILS 1 and get ready to enter that course heading. Remember, set your course to 116 degrees. Now, when you flip your flight director switch back up to normal, you will be engaged to the ILS feather. Let's give it a whack. Wait a minute, I might want to go and switch myself to FSS. I'm not sure I did that. I did not. Make sure your radio beam coupler is on FSS. And I can tell I'm within range of the ILS feather because my my artificial horizon just changed and my compass just changed, letting me know that it just received the information. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lock onto that. Let's see what happens. We are turning towards the airport. That's good news. We're not too awful far out. I think we're about 25 maybe, so keep an eye on your glide slope indicator and well, keep an eye on your artificial horizon. Eventually you'll get that glide slope indicator and make sure it's above the horizon. If it's not above the horizon, you got to turn around and do it again because you're too high. Yeah, you can see the city coming up. It's going to be, it's quite large. Hey, Split Horse's UFO is up here flying around with me. What's up, buddy? I see you caught up.
Yeah, it was going about 300.
You look like
knots.
an anti-Tic Tac, like a black Tic Tac.
Yeah, you do too.
Still no glide slope indicator. Oh, as soon as I said that, it popped in. Glide slope indicator is indicating the glide slope is above me, and that's exactly what we want. Going to be turning to final here like any second now.
I think I'm on the inside of you guys, but I got the glide slope.
Yeah, you were quite far to my right. Do you have the ILS feather as well?
I do.
Because I would assume at some point it was going to jog you over to the left a little bit to get you a little more lined up with it. I'm
would've
still
thought
not
so,
putting at the
too,
airport. Okay, my ILS feather just kicked in and I'm turning to final. Right on.
Yeah, Lazerbolt, you're my ILS right now. So.
Right on. Follow me. I'm just going by instruments and it's taking me right in. It's nothing more satisfying than have your airplane land all by itself. Yeah, last time I was here, it was a wicked, wicked thunderstorm. I set the weather on purpose to be that. I got the runway in sight, looking good.
Well, I think I'm good. It turned me. Headed to the runway.
Good beans. Oh, there you are. You just passed right in front of me. Yeah, like I said, sooner or later it's going to have to jog it to the left. And then back to the right. My glide slope indicator is not gliding just yet, but it will. I better start thinking about losing some speed here. My indicator now shows the miles away. We're 14 miles away from the airport. It didn't show that earlier, but now it does. That's good news. My glide slope indicator has started falling. Once it reaches the horizon, we're going to descend automatically. Good beans. Well, this bird just does not want to slow down, does it? It likes to fly.
Yeah, I'm on a descent to the runway now, so I guess I'm locked in.
Glide slope indicator just engaged, and I am coming in. Gear down. Boy, it sounds like the bar downstairs is busy tonight. People around here getting spring fever. We're getting tired of 40-degree weather. I think it was like 55 today, and that was awesome.
We're, I think, 98.
98.
Ouch.
Yeah, that'd be a bit much. Us Michigan people just can't handle too hot of weather. Although it does bother me that everybody complains all winter long for 8 months straight, complaining about being cold. And then the first time it hits 70 degrees, everybody's like, oh my God. It's like, geez, OP, dude, you got like a 5-degree comfort zone? What is it? I mean, I'm at least willing to sweat it out for a couple of days before I start complaining, you know? I mean, winter's rough around here. I'm glad to have some hot weather.
Had a comfortable 74 down here, and had the windows open and the fans running. It was perfect.
Yeah, that don't sound too bad, my friend. That sounds real good. All right, everything's looking fantastic on this ILS approach. The glide slope is gliding. My speed's looking good. We're right on the money. Reminder, when we get down, we're going to back taxi to runway 11 at the beginning of it and sit there for 10 minutes while we get coffee and cocktails and snacks.
And take the dog out.
Yep, don't forget a snack for the dog.
Yeah, this ILS is doing good. It's got me lined up exactly dead even with it.
Yeah, that 116 degrees course is perfect this time. This is a big ass runway too. It's 10,000 feet. Well, I'm sure Colorado Springs also has an ILS approach. We will be doing that for our last leg. But right now, say hello to Grand Junction. Wonder what's good here in Grand Junction. Yeah, you look like such a UFO split horse. That is just funny how it's not showing you properly. I am right behind you, so don't put your brakes on too hard.
Oh, you're behind me?
I'm right behind you. You just pulled up in front of me. So when you get down, roll a little bit before you hit your brakes. I don't want to run into you.
All right.
We've got a UAL 1884 taking the runway. It's a real-life airplane right now that's taking off from Grand Junction.
I guess
Little
he's
do they
holding
know that they're
course.
bothering us and get off of our
Taxi.
runway. Sorry, Split Horse, what do you got?
I show him on the taxiway.
Oh, for me, he just pulled out onto the runway. He's getting ready to take off.
I see like 3 or 4 or 5. Actually, another one just popped in, like 5 aircraft besides us.
I'm going to land right in front of this guy. He's already rolling. He's ready to take off. He's going down the runway. Well, buddy, I hope you got good brakes because coming in. You're going to flip that bird over.
I do.
Turn it like that.
I was gonna turn, and then I stopped because somebody was taxiing in the middle.
Almost flipped mine over
That was
too. Well,
me.
you got to be
I
careful
thought
when
you
you're.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful when you turn on this thing. It wants to put that tip down, doesn't it? Yeah, that I think that jetliner aborted his takeoff. I'd like to see what he does now. Is he going to taxi all the way back to the beginning of the runway, or what's he going to do?
Apparently didn't even need half the runway.
No, if that airplane wasn't in my way, I could have probably landed before the second taxiway.
Yeah, this thing gets squirrely if you try and use brakes and everything before you come to a stop. I mean, don't. My yoke is so sensitive on this. It barely moves, and I'm turning right and left. That's why I get a little squirrely.
Yeah, I'd
I
adjust
gotta-
the sensitivity
I gotta
on
take
that if
some
I was
time
you.
and-
Yeah.
yeah, I need to take some time one of these days. And
There's really just a few
Yeah,
axes
thank-
that you need to monkey with, you know. On my stick, I did the same thing. When I pushed forward or pulled back, it was a crazy amount. So I went ahead and
It'll make
adjusted that
flying a
so
lot
the curve
smoother and
ain't so
easier
steep.
if you adjust that.
I'm sorry, Bob.
I was just echoing you. I was telling him it does make flying a whole lot smoother.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the defaults, I'm not even sure who those are for, because that's a crazy amount. You move the stick just a tiny bit and it gives you max. It's like, no, you can't do that. All right, let's call this 25 past the hour. At 35 past the hour, we're not on the runway. We're up in the air at 35 past the hour. So let's do that. Go ahead and grab yourself a snack and a drink and use the restroom. Let the dog out. Do what you got to do. And we'll be back
Roger
at
that.
35 past the hour. We're in the air on our way to Colorado Springs. Let's go say hi to Tesla. So Travis never did come back. I wonder if he had trouble reinstalling. Oh, I see he actually left us a message in Discord. It says, having some issues, we'll catch you guys next week. Well, right on. Answers that. Alright, if you guys want to ditch Split Horse again, we can leave in 1 minute. No takers? Say, everybody watching the stream, a reminder, you can come and join us anytime you'd like. We would love to have your company. We're a pretty open group around here. We just fly around and have a good time. We're not too sticklers for the procedures and all that kind of stuff. We just like having fun and flying around, seeing cool stuff. So if you ever felt like joining us, please do. You can get the game itself on GamePass, and you can get all the information for the flights in the description of the video. It'll tell you where we're going, what we're flying. If you join us here in Discord, we have a PLN file always where you can just download the PLN file and pop it into your GPS, and your airplane will be all set and ready to go. So yeah, if you ever felt like it, please join us one of these nights. We have a good time. We'd love to see you. And yeah, like and subscribe. Squeak that in there once in a while. I'm not used to saying that. I've had a channel for over 8 years, and I've just never told people to like and subscribe. But I think it's in my best interest to start telling people like and subscribe. Wonder if Split Horse is paused. Oh, he's probably messing with his yoke. So gentlemen, we are going to be getting back up in the air in about 3 minutes or so. I'm going to go ahead and take my place out on the runway, and we'll check out the final details of the Colorado Springs Municipal Airport we're going to be visiting. Oh, we're going to have a nice looking sunset here. It's going to be beautiful. Best part, the sun's going to be at our back, so it's not going to interfere with us seeing the runway. We do indeed have an ILS approach when we get to Colorado Springs. We're going to be landing on runway 35 left. I will remind you when we get closer, we got a little bit to go. But when we get closer, remember that we're going to be landing 35 left and ILS instrument landing frequency of 109.9. Another 10,000 foot runway, 11,000 foot really. It's a big one. We're going to be going over some very tall mountains, so we will need to go every bit of 15,000 feet on this one. This is the tallest peaks we've flown over all day. Speaking of Pikes Peak,
Trying to get this hot dog down my throat before I have to worry about autopilot later.
Great. Everything seems to be locked up.
Not sure what that meant.
I can't control anything. I don't have a mouse anymore.
I don't know. I see a message Travis just left us too. He said he's having issues and he'll catch us next week. Laser, if you're talking to us, I sure couldn't hear you.
oh, sorry about that. Yeah, this whole time I've been sitting here yabbing away and my mic is turned off. Yeah, I was just saying, let's roll. Sorry about that. Split horse, if you're having trouble catching up to us, catch up to us in the air, but we got to get the show moving here. Yeah, whoops, had my mic turned off that whole
It sounds
time.
like Home Alone all over again.
Again and again. We're going to do a slight left-hand turn out of here. Don't forget to re-put your mode selector over to nav and your radio beam coupler. Make sure you put that all the way over to your range localizer, and we can get right back to following that pink line. Remember, climb all the way up to 15,000 this time. You're going to need every foot of it. Now the mountains are just over 14,000, but 15,000 will keep you from hitting them. A little bit of a mountain range we need to climb up over here, but it's not too steep.
Let's see, where'd you guys just take off from?
Did you get that figured out, buddy?
Where did you guys take off from?
Like, what
Kilo
runway?
Golf
Is it
Joker.
no? What
Well-
what airport?
You know, Kilo Golf Juliet Tango.
Okay. All right.
Well, you had to restart completely, huh?
Yeah, it wouldn't go back to anything.
You know, like I said, your airplane completely disappeared. It looked like maybe your whole system froze up. Luckily, that pink line is taking us just to the left of this peak over here.
I'm already at 11,000 and climbing fast.
Yeah, we're gonna hit some mountains soon. This we're heading over one of the tallest mountain parts of this entire region. Certainly the tallest peaks we've seen in this flight tonight. 15,000 should be fine though. Like I think we were talking earlier, the tallest peak in the entire area is just over 14. "165 miles out, Colorado Springs. My birthplace, the home of Lazerbolt.
Think you'd be coming back in a C-130?
It's probably the only way I'm going to make it back. Hey, Split Horse, you made it back. Good to see you, buddy. Good to kind of see you.
Good to have see you.
So I'm thinking about having another trivia night next week. How's that sound, guys? I always like a good trivia night myself. I'll spend all week looking good questions from A to Z, any topic, and we'll throw some questions out next week. That's always a good time. Not sure where we're going to fly. We'll figure that out. Actually, we might just fly out of Colorado Springs. I have another good flight
Well,
plan
you
already
can't
made up.
provide a subject matter so I can study up and not look so stupid.
I don't know. Usually I just look for
Bob,
any
you
interesting
sound
trivia.
great.
And Bob, you're one of the smartest guys around here. We already know that, so we don't need to worry about that.
I don't
happening.
know about that.
And remember, when we do this trivia, sometimes an acceptable answer is nobody knows. I like those questions best, where nobody knows the answer. I'm coming up on 15,000 in a hurry here. I'm going to go ahead and hold this altitude, and we're going to be styling. Alrighty, Lazerbolt is going to try to maintain 260 indicated. Let's get some airport information here for Colorado Springs. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we will be landing on runway 35 left. If you have winds that will make that impossible, just let me know, and you can land wherever the hell you want. But we're going to be coming in at 35 left. We have an ILS frequency of 109.9er and 11,000 feet of asphalt. It's a big one. Only 6,000 feet of elevation around here, so that's not too bad. This is a little more than that last airport, but that was fine. Big important news is, though, the ILS frequency is 109.9, and we're looking at a 353 degrees magnetic. So make sure you put that in your compass heading when we're that far into it. Time to enter this into the nav radio. We got a 109.9. Looks about right. Yeah, and this looks like the edge of the Rockies here. Once we get to Colorado Springs, it's pretty flat after that. Like I said, there's a chance we'll be flying out of here, out of Colorado Springs next week. I have another flight planned that's already prepared and ready to go. I just have to pop it in. So just out of simplicity's sake, I might do that so I don't have to come up with something completely fresh. But we will be doing some trivia. So put your thinking caps on, and we're going to have some hopefully interesting trivia from A to Z. That's quite a range coming up in front of us. I'm going to trust 15 is good enough. I'm pretty sure it is.
Pretty sure I selected a few clouds, but on my EFB, I'm seeing some rain showers up on the far east.
Really?
Because I was flying live weather up until today, but I went in and selected a few clouds. But maybe
you know what? Maybe it only affects your immediate area. Maybe the area that was loaded in outside of that still has real weather somehow. I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Hesitant to turn my toolbar back on because it kept popping up the box that gives you the selections for turning everything on and off in the toolbar, and I couldn't get rid of it.
Oh, right.
Yep. The reset position thing. Yeah, it just popped back up when I did that. I'm going to check out the weather and see what I've got to set at. Oh, I'm on live weather again. Oh well. We'll just deal with it.
Switched you back, huh?
I like live weather.
Speaking of live weather, Coast, how's the weather been over there in Buffalo for you? You warming up yet? Because we're still cold as hell.
It's been getting warmer. We have it stopped raining now for the last. Oh, it's short. It's been in the 40s to 60 range mostly.
Really? I love it. How you're like, yeah, it's getting warmer. It's between 40 and 60. So yeah, that's what we got over here too. But I'm ready for something that's more like 70. It don't feel like summer yet. It barely feels like spring. I mean, literally, we've had a couple days last week where it could have started snowing. And that is too much for this time of year. Get the hell out of here with that.
Well, 40 to 60 is almost warm here. You know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just to the point when it hits 60 degrees, just barely hits the tip into 60 degrees. It's actually pretty nice. That's a good day right there.
Over here, when it hits 40 and 50, that's shorts weather.
Have you guys ever played with the FCR recording device up there in the menu?
A little bit. I think I monkeyed with it one time because I thought it would be an interesting way to make a video. It actually, it seemed to work kind of fine. I didn't have any problems with it. I've just never really got that into it. How about you?
Not till earlier today I was looking at it, but I just hit ghost and it put an airplane behind me.
Oh, which is probably you.
Oh, it is me.
Yeah, it put a ghost of yourself back there. Huh. Well, it's not
Everybody else can
broadcasting.
see that though, right?
It's not broadcasting your ghost. I've just got you.
Okay.
I think so.
Longhorn, you're kind of behind and to the left of me. You don't see an extra airplane behind me, do you?
Let's see. No, I just see just the one aircraft. You and
Okay.
Lazerbolt.
Yeah. Yeah. What I was thinking about, it might be an interesting feature. Consider this: like, what if we had a flight one time where, we were like in a big formation. If I could record myself flying an entire flight plan, and then go back and record myself again flying in formation with myself, and then go back and record myself again, do it like 7 times. So there's 7 aircrafts all flying in formation, and that would
I think
record
you can
as we're
do
sitting
up
at the
to
runway. You know,
5
that might be fun. That might be fun to start that recording. But since it doesn't broadcast everything, it would be kind of pointless, really. It might make an interesting video, but it wouldn't make a good flight. But we used to do similar stuff to that. We used to, I mean, I remember when we did our, on May 4th, we used to do a flight every May 4th. I reconstructed the Death Star in the old FSX days. I went in and made the Death Star out in the ocean, the Death Star trench, and it was like a 50-mile run because our X-Wings were really fast. You could go down that 50-mile trench in a hurry. And we would do the trench run every time. But I would also, before we flew, I would go and do the trench run as a whole bunch of different aircraft. And as we're flying, you could see those other aircraft doing the trench run and crashing or whatever, you know. It was fun. We had a good time doing it. I don't know if you could do that in the new sim. I certainly wouldn't be able to. I can't create scenery files for the new sim. I used to be able to easily create scenery files for FSX, but I've never tried it in this one. I've never even messed with the SDK. I don't know. Maybe one of these days, but not today.
I blasted by you guys playing with that ghost. So I'll slow down and let y'all get back up in front of me.
Geez, you're only about a half mile ahead of me. We're all good. We're still 106 miles out, Colorado Springs. We will eventually be turning to the right a little bit so we can line up for runway, what is it, 35, something like that? Yeah, 35 left. So eventually, about another 50 miles, we're going to turn to the right. A reminder, we have an ILS frequency of 109.9 at a heading of 353 degrees magnetic.
I should remember that. That was my squadron name number.
What was it?
Yep, 353rd Special Ops.
The Fighting 353rd. Or the Flying 353rd.
Yeah, we was a group or a wing. C-130.
Yeah, I envy you there for sure. I've always loved the C-130 so much that anytime I get a chance to spend time with a real one, it's very special. It's only happened once or twice for me where I've actually got to be in the same tarmac as a C-130. But it's great. It's great. I mean, I can understand your reverence for it. It's a great airplane.
I don't know, for the life of me, I can't get it back on autopilot.
It's not following that pink line for you?
No, I'm following heading bug. That's working.
Well, maybe you make sure your flight director switch is on normal if you're trying to follow the pink line.
Normal, and then I had the dial down below set to nav, and I have the radio beam set to range lock.
Yeah, it should work then. Yeah.
Yeah, not
I have seen it act a little weird sometimes though. I mean, maybe
when
something
you-
happened to where like when you loaded in, it gave you like a weird departure. You know what I'm saying? Your flight plan probably has an extra leg that you just went in a straight line and you missed that leg, so your flight plan's not technically caught up to you yet.
Oh, that's it. I spawned on you.
Yeah.
So.
That's annoying, but that does happen. These mountains are really something around here.
Yeah, I think the tallest one is 14,943 or 34 or something.
Yeah, some of these peaks I'm barely making it over. I'm over 15,000. I get over this little range here that's in front of me. I'm going to turn to the right just a few degrees to end up south of the airport. That'll help us on runway 35 left.
I guess if you lived in one of these little teeny valleys around here somewhere, it would take you forever to get anywhere because you'd have to go way out of your way to. I mean, like if you wanted to go over to the next valley, it'd probably take you 2 hours just to get there. When it would take
most
you
most
25
places around
minutes
here, you're not
go
even.
straight.
You'll be lucky if you even had a road around here. Maybe you take your bobsled somewhere, but that's about it. Yeah, if you lived in these mountains, you'd have to have a helicopter or something to get around.
Or a really big pantry. That was the Rocky Mountain song, wasn't it?
I forget.
Yeah, John Denver. I just wondered if you could do it here. I have figured out how to do it.
Good old John Denver. Boy, he was a big deal there for a while back in the day.
He was a pilot too.
Yeah, didn't he die in flying or something?
He hit a mountain. The story I heard was I think he had like a Cessna 172, just a little airplane, but he was trying to get out of a box canyon and just couldn't get out, hit the wall.
Once you get into a box canyon, if you haven't got a turning radius, you're in trouble.
Well, especially if you're up in the mountains like that. Them Cessna 172s, they're not built for climbing, man. That's not a climbing mountain kind of airplane.
Laser, did you do that flight where Wingman was there and we flew with the East Coast guys or whatever with Pizza and all those guys?
Yeah, with Pizza and those dudes. I flew in a number of them.
And we were up in the mountains and in stock Cessna 172s, and we were trying to make it over one of the mountains, and we had to keep circling, trying to gain altitude.
It's like the whole flight was just a challenge to try to gain some altitude.
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember that one, but I probably was there. I flew in most of their they had co-group flights where our group would join their group and vice versa. We had a good time, I'm sure. I like those guys, actually. Pizza was great. He was very, very nice guy. Very knowledgeable flight simmer.
Yeah, I checked. He was actually on Discord when we came in.
As a matter of fact, Eastern Flights used to have a little department here in our Discord server. Actually, it probably wasn't even Discord at that time. It was probably just TeamSpeak. But yeah, we used to hang out with those guys a lot. I wonder, they're probably still going, aren't they?
I think they are. They call themselves Eastern Hops.
Gentlemen, we are 63 miles out. I am going to turn about 5 degrees to the south here. I'm going to take a little right-hand turn. That'll help us line up. Runway 35 left, correct? 35 left. So count on that. We're not too awful far, maybe 30 miles, and we're going to be latched onto that ILS feather, so keep that in mind. That was a great shot, Wingnut. I might use that next week's thumbnail. Hope you were smiling.
I don't know. What did I do?
I was just saying that, but I just looked behind me and saw you back there in formation. With the sun setting, it's a beautiful shot. That's going to be next week's thumbnail.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, there's a good chance next week we're just going to be taking off out of Colorado Springs. I'm guessing we're going to be heading somewhat west. Not sure where we're going to end up. I have to check that flight plan out a little bit closer. And we're going to be doing trivia. So put your thinking cap on. We're going to have some fun trivia. Random ass stuff. And like I said, don't be afraid to answer nobody knows. That's an acceptable answer.
I don't have the I don't know down pat.
I know a little bit about everything and a whole lot about nothing.
Now, you know how trivia works, though. You're always wrong about something. Especially when you're trying to find interesting, shocking trivia, you know, a fun trivia nugget. And then somebody's going to be like, actually, it's... it's like, okay. Alright, I better bring this bird down here a little bit, too. We are 50 miles out. I'm over 15,000 feet.
Oh, did you say the altitude of the airport?
I'm looking it up right now. Let's see, the elevation of the airport is 6,100 feet. So 6,100. I'm going to bring it down to about 10,000. And that should be just fine. Bringing her down.
I don't know why she keeps telling me to have a good day. Maybe I want to have a bad day.
Nobody wants to have a bad day, do you? Oh, I just missed all kinds of communications over here. JMB's talking about TeamSpeak from way back. Yeah, I don't miss TeamSpeak at all. We used that for years in our group flights, and you know, it had its ups, but a lot of downs. We used to get so many trolls in TeamSpeak, just people who would come in and make goat noises, and just random people. Every flight there'd be some random yo-yo just trying to disrupt the flight. That hasn't happened a single time since we've been doing Discord. Should knock on wood, but JMB wants to know what kind of trivia we're talking about. Planes, trains, automobiles. It's going to be random anything, just any. I'm going to look all week long. I'm going to write down little trivia questions. Anytime I see something that sounds interesting, I'm going to write it down. Little nuggets. Oh, JMB says he's been to Colorado Springs Airport a number of times. Very nice.
Well, darkness has fallen upon me here. I hope they got lights there.
Yeah, JMB's asking, couldn't we password lock TeamSpeak back in the day? We could have, but we didn't want to because we want to encourage anybody who ever wants to fly with us, ever, come on and join us. Just hop in, fly with us. And we couldn't necessarily do a password system at the time. It makes it real easy with Discord for some reason. I think just the difference is Discord, you have to be signed in with Discord. You have to give them an email address and password and all that kind of stuff. You have to log in, and somehow that's enough just to keep the random bozos out. You know, if people don't want to get banned, I guess.
Yeah, I remember. I was an admin. I was harsh.
Yeah. We had people every flight. That's all they did was ban people. That's all. There was 2 or 3 people on staff at all times. Every flight we did. And we used to do a flight every night back then. I mean, it was almost every night there was somebody doing a group flight. And we would have to have people on staff just to ban people. It was terrible. And then some of the group, when we switched over to Discord, we lost a lot of members because they just didn't like Discord. They wanted to stay on TeamSpeak. I couldn't quite figure that out. I was like, I don't know, TeamSpeak's been nothing but a pain in the ass. Why do you even care about that? Okay, I'm at 11,000 and going to be holding at 10,000. We're getting awful close to that ILS feather. I wouldn't be too surprised if we could already latch onto it, but I'll give it a minute. It's a little bit far away still.
Are we going over these mountains that are in front of us?
Yeah, hopefully we're going to be skimming right over the top of them, right? Hopefully. Looks like I'm going right into them.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm right behind you, so I'm like,
I think if we turn a little bit farther south, maybe everything's better. Just looking at the map. I just picked up the ILS feather. My directional indicator just moved. Oh yeah, you see if we go to the left over here, we'll miss that entirely. And that will also help us be far enough away from the ILS feather that we won't miss the glide slope. Because right now we're only 27 miles out, and it's getting a little bit close. But if I came in any higher, I would be above the glide slope. Don't want that. Oh yeah, we turn far enough south, we're fine. Absolutely beautiful Rocky Mountain sunset.
I gotta find my wiper switch. It is pouring here.
Oh, the wiper switch? Those are
Yeah.
co-pilot. Your co-pilot's armrest has the windshield wiper switches.
And I'm sure he's not doing diddly squat, huh?
Nah, he ain't
he's-
doing nothing.
He's absent right now. I have no idea where he's at.
Yeah, you
Over
won't
here.
have him in the H version. You'll only
there
have him in the J.
Okay, I see the switch. It's like way across on the other. Oh, jeez! I just hit the zoom button and it's like practically put my face into the wiper switch. They're on park, so let's go up to slow. Let's see if they work. Okay, we'll give that a shot. But the wipers are turned on. Yeah, I'm gonna need this ILS because I can't see anything now, and I hope I don't hit a mountain.
Yeah, don't do that. Like I said, if you go off to the right, I might have said left earlier, but if you go off to the right, it's the mountain's low enough to where you can get right over it. I'm getting ready
You better
to.
lose some altitude, Longhorn.
I'm at 13,000 right now. But it looks like on the EFB where there's not rain, it looks like I've cleared the mountains. I just can't see anything but clouds right now and rain. So I'm gonna go ahead and start going down because it looks like I've cleared them.
Yeah, you got nothing below you, no mountains.
Okay, so let's do that.
All right, I'm getting ready to latch onto that ILS frequency here. Bob, what was that number again?
We got
353?
an F-22 buzzing us.
Yep, 353rd, 353.
Sorry about that. We have an F-22 guy flying all around us, buzzing us.
I always like how a jet looks escorting these C-130s. It's majestic. They belong together, you know what I'm saying? It looks really good having an F-16 squadron
Digital
with you.
Siler.
Yeah, he's coming up on my left wing.
Alrighty, got the glide slope indicator, and my Herky bird is latched onto the feather. We're looking good. Coming in automatically. You know, watch this bird land itself. Yeah, I don't see this fighter jet you're talking about.
His name is Digital Sil R. He's out in front of me to the left.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see his name tag. He's kind of rubber banding all over the place, like he's got a bad internet connection.
Yeah.
He's in the Air Force Thunderbird. Yeah, probably just some kid having a good old time. Flying a jet around. Alright, my ILS glide slope is beginning to slide down. I should be latched onto that anytime. Gotta really start watching my speed here.
I still got snow on the ground over here.
I wouldn't be too surprised. I haven't seen any snow yet, but I've seen snow other places. When
Yeah,
I was,
I had it on all the mountain peaks, but right here in Colorado Springs, like looks like a recent snowstorm just went through here.
for some reason I didn't latch onto that ILS the glide slope. Maybe I'm not pointing enough towards the airport, you know what I mean?
I came in at a pretty hard angle, but it still grabbed my plane. I'm lined up with it now. I had to make a hard left. Or
Right.
it took me on a hard left.
It still hasn't turned me. That's why I'm thinking it didn't engage the glide slope yet. There's no sense in engaging the glide slope if I'm not even pointing at the airport yet. I'm
Yeah, but
guessing.
you're at 10,000. You're at 10,000. You may want to come down about 1,000.
Yeah, I need to get down below the glide slope. But I haven't even turned the final yet, so I've got
The
time.
glide slope is actually being shown. It's below. You're above the glide slope.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. A minute ago, I wasn't above the glide slope. I was below it like I'm supposed to be, but it didn't latch on. Alright, airplane is turning final. We'll try that glide slope again. I mean, not that I need it really. I mean, I've got a clear view of the airport and everything. I'm already lined right up with it. But it's always nice when it works like it's supposed to.
Supposed to land on the blue lights, right?
The green ones.
Try the red ones. Try the red ones. See if that works.
I'm on the ground and the taxiway, so don't run over me.
I just overran some kind of a little business jet. I think it's an actual airplane coming into land. He's gonna have to go around.
Yeah, I just flew underneath him.
He's going awful slow.
Probably knows how to fly.
Yeah, going slow is a big part of it.
Sorry, Laser. I'm trying to slow down, but I couldn't.
For a second there, you look like an actual airplane too, and then you turn back into that weird bus-looking thing. It's like when your airplane was in contact with my airplane, it looked proper. And then it didn't.
Try that on the ground. See if it comes. If it works.
Yeah, when Split Horse comes to a stop, I'm going to go over and park next to him. Where are you going, Split Horse?
I have no idea.
Go somewhere and pull over.
Stop here.
It's easy to find him. He looks like a baggage car.
Looks looks like some kind of a Star Wars hover transport. Yeah, let's see if you appear when I get real close to you. Yeah,
You look
yeah, there
like
you
a
go.
bus to me.
Yeah, as soon as we got like real close to each other, I see you like you're supposed to be seen. That is very bizarre. Huh, weird. And then as soon as there's any distance in between us, you're not.
Yeah, now that you're so close, I see you as a whole plane now. No, now you went back to a bus.
Yep, you're probably going to turn into
Well,
a bus
actually,
here
when I
too.
pan my view around, if I'm behind you, you look like a plane. If I get in front of you, you disappear.
Very weird graphical glitch. I hope they get to the bottom of that because it's bizarre. Yeah, when we're like within touching distance of each other, you look just fine. Very weird.
You're sitting outside in your plane. It looks like you're in a sunroof. I see your head.
Yeah, real weird. Alright, let's find some place to park over here. See what we got. It's one of those to where it's such a big airport, there's nothing to see here. This looks like a big airport. I don't know. I'm just going to pull up over here and we can shut down our engines. It's quite a berm when you get off the runway, so look out. Right off the taxiway. Yeah, I guess we could sit right here and watch planes coming and going. It's all sloped. Well, Coach, what are the chances you're going to have that computer fixed for next week?
I got a feeling. I got a feeling I might have to go back and reflash the BIOS.
Yeah, who knows what happened with all that weird stuff. Weird stuff goes on during an update, especially if it's interrupted. Well, good luck on that. We miss you, buddy. We got to see you in the air next week.
Yeah, I'll work at it. I'll work at it. Good on the good info because I've been taking some pictures of my hummingbirds. They're coming back. They're coming back. Plus, I got a Baltimore Oriole feeding out of my hummingbird feeder.
I like the sounds of that.
You know what the Oriole looks like? It's black and orange.
That's not the kind of Oreo I was thinking about. Are you talking about the bird?
The bird, yeah.
Well, yeah. I can't wait to see some pictures, man. All of your wildlife pictures are always fantastic.
Yeah, I'll have to get some of them up.
You have a very interesting backyard.
Oh yeah, I kick the deer out of there every other day. I'm getting to the point where I don't even try to kick the deer out anymore. This is too much work.
Yeah, once deer get comfortable and they're not scared of you no more, but you can't get rid of them. They're going to be there every day. The deer in this town are very domesticated. They just walk all over the place.
Oh, I get the umbrella.
They
Oh,
probably
You
like,
get an umbrella
Pilot
when
has
it's
a
raining?
flashlight on his head.
So do our characters age?
we do.
I'd be very surprised.
Because your hair seems like it's receding, Laser, unless you change your hairstyle.
I thought I had a hat on.
Not in my view. But you got a bunch of bald spots on your head. Like someone did a.
Oh, jeez.
Do some of these guys look like guys you know?
So it looks like the guy in the mirror.
Oh, that's an impressive view. It's funny. I get out of my airplane and now there's two people in my cockpit.
It's like you never left.
Someone's stealing your plane.
Yeah, those are the people that were in the John.
Well, they'll have a hard time because I took the keys with me.
My airplane keeps rocking back and forth.
Yeah, I see that.
Like, I'm sitting kind of on a hill.
Oh, Southwest Airlines just took off.
Well, all right, everybody. People watching the stream, thanks for coming along. I appreciate your participation. It's always fun. We're going to be here every Friday. We've been doing it for 14 years. We're not going to stop now, so please join us one of these nights. And yeah, you can get the game for free on GamePass. You can get the flight plan in the description of the video. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully we see you again next time. Bye now.